Good morning. Starting late. Oops. Well, folks, have I got a delightful ride for you this morning? We are going to explore the lower fins, the pelvic fins. Actually, fish have two sets of fins underneath their fishy bodies. There's the pelvic fins and there's the anal fins. They got anal fins. I don't know how that relates to what we're doing this morning, except that those are underneath the body, and one of the things that the fins do is to keep the fish upright, with vertical lift, keep it stable. So it's little wonder that as we crawled onto land evolutionarily, these things which came outside do what they do, and these things develop to come under to do what these do. So I'm gonna invite you to imagine your legs are not what you're used to them being. So you can either imagine that they're evolving, or you can imagine that they are emerging from the embryo. One of the things that Raymond Darwin got very into was how we carry certain ancestral impacts through our bodies hereditarily. So we carry traumas, we carry knowledge from way behind. So we're going to imagine connecting to those things as well with alignment and free. I feel like I'm going to talk you through it this morning. There was a little feeling that said, "Oh, shall I demo it?" But there is so much to this that's about personal exploration that I'll just give you the invitations and then really dive in to see where it takes you. One of the core things of it, I will say though, is that as you rotate the limbs, you will feel a connection between the femur and the pelvis that connect a point. And I'd like you to see if you can find release in there. So almost as if your bones are giving the inside of your body a massage from the middle upwards. So if there's any place while we're doing this that you go, this feels strenuous, ease off. This is not stretching, nor is it yoga. You're using gravity to invite releasing in order to lengthen. And the more that we get length and release, the more that everything around it can flow. That's the general idea. Okay? So lower limbs. But to start off with, I'm going to invite you to come into constructive rest, and we'll dance around in that. I'm sorry we're starting a little bit later this morning. It's because I was doing this particular activity and I got very carried away. So I hope you enjoy the journey too. fascinating aspect of this constructive rest position is that it changes. So there might be some mornings where actually you don't need so many blocks. It all depends on where how you slept. Well, okay. So first thing we're going to do is do a little bit of body checking in. So with this, I'm going to invite you to bring your mind to one side of the body. You're going to place your palms at the point where the lower part of your ribs are, and let your fingers spread across and just almost meet in the middle. Yeah. Okay, good. And if need be, you can adjust your elbows out to the side. Yeah, great. So you're going to pick a side to become conscious of. And let the hand on that side peel away from the rest of your body. And you're just going to snow angel on that side. You're going to feel the floor with that arm. And rotate all the way around, just feeling the floor. Also feel the rotation of the arm as you do that. And on that side, you're going to become aware of the contact points, the darts contact points on that side. So the point where the back of the head meets the board on that side, or the book, and you're going to feel the shoulder blade making contact on that side, and then you're going to feel the pelvic points, either the sacrum or the top of the pelvis on that side. And then you're going to feel the 3 points of the foot on that side, the heel, and the point behind the pinky, and the point behind the big toe. And you're going to let that hand that's going on a wander, all that tactile information, that hand and that arm, you're then going to bring to that side of your body. So imagine that there's a line that goes up the middle of your body, and that hand is going to explore that side of your body. Just going to explore the side of your face, side of your head, your shoulder, top of your leg. And here's a fun thing that you can begin to explore. As you explore that part of that side of your skeleton, also invite the connection that goes through the bones. So if you come to, this is fun. If you come to, say, this side of the jaw, then you can just, it's weird, isn't it? Or even on the rib on that side, you can say to the rib, there's that side of my spine through the rib. Yeah. You can actually really have a conversation with all the layers of that inside of your body, the bones, the muscles, the organs. The nervous system, the skin, the senses, i.e. what the eye perceives on that side. What you can smell and taste on that side, what you can hear on that side. You're waking up that side of the body. And then you can come to the top of your leg there and explore that leg in whatever way you see fit. And also feel the toes on the floor as you explore the leg. Maybe you sink that pelvis into one side and you lift the leg up a bit so you can feel the whole of that side. Just a little. And once again, being aware of how much tension you're finding when you do that, or whether the other side of your body wants to join in. Just let the other side of the body just remain inactive. It will get its turn. And bring that leg down after you've woken it a little bit. Extend it. You can extend it. It's really to wake it up. However you find you can, extension and rolling it around a bit gives you information. Then very, very good plan. And then bring that hand back to the rib cage and the leg back into the same position so that you can compare one side with the other. Okay, and because it's my birthday, you can say out loud what you notice. Just shout out loud what you notice is different from one side to the other, if you notice anything. Softer? Looser? Great. The right is tighter. Nice.
Looks like there's more spaciousness on that side.
Space. Oh, this is great because it's like what this means is that you can find that spaciousness at any point during the day. It's a question of you functionally giving space and time to do that. So just if Dart is about anything, it's about that. Okay, so take the time now to repeat the same thing on the other side, where you can begin to explore. Explore the floor on that side. Yes. And the nails are, of course, very important parts of this fin that's connecting with the land. Yes, beautiful. embryologically, of course, the ends of the things, the very tips are the things that emerge from the embryo. They come seeking out. Yeah. And let the sensation that you've got from one side flood into the other side. So the other side now begins to learn from the other side, and in your explorations, give that starved side the attention that provides the same release, the same sensation. And bring your mind to the anchor points on that side. The point on the back of the head on that side, the shoulder blade on that side, the elbow, the points of the pelvis, and the sacrum. The 3 points of the foot. You can begin to explore the lower things, and also the senses, of course. The eye, how it is to see on that side. And what's interesting about this is that there are certain split focal sides of both eyes. So that makes sense evolutionarily that of course there is information that's integrated here. Oh, that's not feel good. So when you look out the left side or the right side of one eye, i.e. the left or right eye, there is also a connection to the left or right side of the other eye. Oh, beautiful listening. That's great. And of course, as you scan through, you can use your breath, the out breath, to release. And you can explore the leg on that side, the lower thing. And then you can bring that hand back onto the resting place. And have a sense for the feeling of that side now, how it is enlivened. Really great explorations going on. So, meant to be non-judgmental, but it is delightful to see these movements and the changes that go on. They're changing the atmosphere of the place. It's I'm going to say it's weird because it's not describable per se. But there's the aspect of as social beings. If we go and see music, and I'm sure Katie, James, you understand this. If you go and see music, then people's metabolisms begin to start to work in sync, and it just changes. It changes the atmosphere of the place. Mm. Okay, so what I'm going to invite you to do, first of all, is with your upper fins, you're going to peel your fingers away and you're just going to rotate or draw circles on the ceiling with the ends of your fins. And what I hope this will do, if you maintain contact with your elbows on the, on the ground, connected to the ground, as you rotate like seaweed, those fingers, you'll feel the upper arm rotate in the socket. So as it rotates outward, the socket will rotate inward. You may feel an opening of the shoulder girdle. You may feel an opening of the armpit hole. Mm. So you can massage the inside of your armpit just by rotating the arm. Ah. Yeah. Beautiful. You just go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you can use whatever imagery you need for that. So you say, oh, there's a jelly. Or your favorite wiggly thing. This is a new one. And then you can do your own. Beautiful. Is that nice?
Yes.
So as it rotates the arm in there, and just saying that if you find points of resistance, you can pause and chat to that or breathe through it and just allow breath to encourage release. Pick your favorite melty thing. Pick your favorite wiggly thing. Pick your favorite map of what's going on inside. James, beautiful. You can let your wrist dangle upwards to above the head or downwards. And take up and down. Yeah, and you can feel the ulna then just rotating in your rotator cuff and just going, hello, rotator cuff. How are you feeling? You can feel your shoulders begin to flip all around. Because your shoulders are part of that fin structure. You might just pause. Very nice. And then just after you've rotated a little bit, and let those palms come to relax on your rib cage. What is that? So these are invitations. So if you feel like you need to continue to explore, then by all means do that. But here, we're going to bring our mind to the lower fins. A little adventure in the lower fins. We're just going to remind ourselves of the long spine of the fish that goes all the way down to the tail, from the top of the head, all the way down to the tail. And then either side of the tail, you have the beginning of the fins, which is the iliac crest, those big pelvic parts of the fin, and they can flap a little bit, a tiny bit. There's like up to 5 degrees of movement in that butterfly of the pelvis. And so what I'd like you to be conscious of is the fold where the knees are rising up. There's a fold there, and that is where the femur goes into the trochanter, which goes into the cerebellum, right in the middle of it's where your dingly danglies are. It's that private area. So on a fish, of course, that's an important place as well. If you're a fish, that's where the exit place is, and it's also where your reproductive place is. So it's an important part of your fishiness. Also want to draw your attention to what is stored in there. There's a lot of tension, worry, fear, and anger can all be stored in there. So ask yourself to just let that melt away into the floor. On the in breath, you are going to bring your mind to that point where the bones meet into the pelvis on the in breath, and then on the out breath, you're just going to say, yeah. Your fins down there can be free. Yes, beautiful. You can feed some of that freedom by being connected to the heel of each foot. We talked a little bit about this. Beautiful, release. Yes, you've got permission to do that. And then you can begin to experiment with how if you were going to sway the knee over to one side and the other knee was going to go with it, gently let that sway over to one side, just your knees. Well, that's what I invite you to do. Just your knees. And the point where you go up, there's a bit of tension there. Come back a little bit and just let your mind's eye find some release in there. It might be a tiny amount of movement. Tiny amount of movement. And this is where we begin to go on an adventure of discovering the legs again, because ever since we were little babbas, we just had the legs underneath us, and it's like, oh, that's that done. And ever since then, the leg movement has just done what it does. Well, here, I want you to see if you can imagine the legs as fins, and you're just discovering it. So as you move the legs to one side, and you allow the breath to release into that place, flap all the feet towards that direction, so that both feet just go towards that direction, as if you're shuffling along. Yes, yes. And feel what that does to the rotation of the upper leg. Yeah, beautiful. And there again, if it gets too much, take a little step back. And then bring the leg back into the middle and try the other side. So these tiny movements are really like you're experimenting with how the movement alters your relationship with the bones. And is it possible that in this change of the relationship with the bones, you can ask for freedom of everything that surrounds the bones? Which is why I'm going to make them tiny movements, so that as you explore them, yeah, exactly, Abby. From the ankle, the points in the ankle, all the way up to place where the tibia meets the femur. Right in there, you're then going to say, oh, what can I let go of? Yeah, this fly is going about reminding everyone of their skin. Now, if you've done this a couple of times either side, see if your feet can creep forward just a little bit, or your fins, I should say, your toes are just going to creep forward, and somewhere around a little way down, you're going to do the same thing again. Pause, and then just allow the middle of the fin, the knees, just to swing out one way. See if you can find that release. And then go back the other way. And it's the same deal, that as you come over to one side, the ends of your fins are going to explore towards that side. Yeah, exactly. Nice flippering. So Dart's anchor points here are so important. The idea that as you flipper, the points of contact with the ground encourage release all the way up the leg. Sorry, the fin. Difficult to escape. 62 years of conditioning. Then you can continue and you can extend the feet just a little bit further. So you're almost extended your feet out from underneath you. Imagine that the leg is like a bridge. You're creating a bridge. You extend the leg all the way, extend the fin, seeking the toes. And almost just before you get to the end, you'll have a little swing either side, have another sway either side. Yeah, yes. Just before you get to the most extended point. Can you sense the rotation of the femur in the pelvis? Yeah, good, good. Can you allow that to massage on the inside of the pelvis? I'm telling you it's all right, you're swimming. Very nice, very nice. Yeah. And you can extend the legs just a little bit further. And you can let the heels slide out. Yeah, and then rotate the legs there. Just a little bit so you can hear the release. Yeah, exactly. Just so it's tiny, tiny. The moment you find resistance, the resistance is an invitation to understand how you can let the resistance go and what is in the way of that resistance. Resistance is useful. That's, that's my t-shirt that I'm having made. Resistance. Resistance and pain are all fantastic. It's your body giving you information. Apart from the information that you're alive, and isn't that glorious? Okay, so if you have extended your legs completely, you're going to let your hands come up above your head. And just feel the top of your head and to say hello, top of head. Just give it a nice, and so you can feel your entire length of head, torso, and heels. Mm. And then you're going to raise the back of the head up off the floor. And with one hand, you're going to hold your head, and with the other hand, you're going to remove that block. And I'm going to invite you to roll over to one side. And then just feel that side on the floor. And play with the upper leg just a little bit, as if you were turning the knee into your bend the knee, and just going to turn it in and then out, and then in, and then out. And it does not have to be a big balletic movement. In fact, it's just that you can do it with just the very idea of turning it in and then out. So you can feel the weight of the leg coming into the pelvis and being supported by the pelvis on the other side. Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Then I'm going to invite you to roll over onto the other side. And do the same thing. Mhm. And in that position, really let gravity give you so much information. Beautiful. And this leg can just go. And if you raise the leg, just feel, yes. Oh, what's that like, Abby? Is that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Elbow.
So yes, finds, yeah, finds, yes. It's a subtle difference, huh? Yeah. And the subtle difference, I would say, I propose, is that the pelvis sinks back. It doesn't thrust forward. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so here's the tricky part. Just going to roll on to your front. We're going to do a little bit of prone. So you're going to bring your hands by your ears. I'm going to take one of those legs and you're just going to let the end fin of that side go for a little explore. So the toes, the structure of the leg is just going to go for a little look over that side. One side? Over one side, yeah. Whichever side you feel like searching. So it's as if it's the first time. Hmm. Yeah. And at the back of the heel decides to come up to the ceiling. Now careful now, as that heel comes up, just play with the release of the leg. So what's really fascinating about this is how much muscularity wants to join in. See if you can do that and say, you know what, muscles, I don't need you right now. Just let the heel, the interest of the eyes of the heel and the toes coming up towards the ceiling do the work. Yes. Keep bringing your mind's eye back to the heel searching. Or you could also imagine the weight of the knee as the root of the plant that's growing up to the ceiling. And when you get that leg up there, just let it go for a little circle. And you'll feel, yes, you feel the femur moving around in there? Yeah. So the more that you allow the pelvis to release and let the larger muscles themselves more, freer that leg will be. You're going to bring the heel to the center line, and then you're going to shunt the knee over. And bring the heel to the center line and shunt the knee over. And then you're going to let the ankle just slightly pull out to the side. Yeah, great. And you can circle out to the side. Oh, what's changed there? You see what's changed there? Isn't that interesting? Yeah. So that's available to you. That's so awesome. Very nice. And then you're going to bring the heel to the outside and then shunt the knee to the outside. And heel to the outside and shunt the knee to the outside. And then do a little circle there. Great.
Can you say that a different way?
Huh?
Can you say that a different way?
Okay, so you're going to open the line on that side. here is that you're using the foot to shunt the direction of the foot to shunt the knee along so that the thigh slides along the floor. Yes, exactly. That's it. Yes. Yes. Do you feel the femur just turning around in there? It'll be interesting if you did go back to the flipping and see what changed. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do what Katie was doing, which is some flippering out to the side. So bring your leg down, and then you're going to flipper that leg out to the side, and you're going to look. You're going to turn your head so you look in the direction of that foot flippering. Yes, exactly. It's your fin flippering. Yeah, great. And when you flipper it out to one side, let's also see if you can tilt the foot so that you still tilt the femur and the. Great. So this is a fun addendum. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can also experiment with wagging your tail. Just giving your tail a little wag. Yeah. Yeah. Like the frog leg. Oh, beautiful. And then flicker that leg back and see how the two sides feel different. Oh, well, I can see the difference between the two sides. It's quite astounding. Okay.
It's longer.
Huh?
It's longer.
See, I can see that. I can see that, Abby.
I got a little head.
Yeah. So let's even you up. So you're going to bring your head back into the middle and do the same exploration on the other side. And so you're bringing the heel up to the sky and just going to go for a little. Yeah, and it will have learned a lot from the other side. And do that little shunt thing. If you like. You can do this first of all. Yeah. And then when you bring the heel towards the middle, you're going to slide the thigh across. Heel and slide. Yeah. Oh, that's great. And then slide that back into the middle. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Great. And you can continue exploring like that if you like, but I'm afraid for brevity's sake, we'll start to look to the side where that leg is moving and begin to flipper that into the bent position. And the interesting thing about flippering for me is the anchor points that move the leg. Yes, yes. And as you move that leg, of course, if you tilt the heel, it will tilt the whole structure. Yeah. So that heel is really part of the extended fin. Ah. And you can waggle your frog's butt if you like to see how that feels. Nothing is overextended in this position. You dig that if it's overextended, there's no freedom to invite the muscle to release. If the muscle is already in a tense situation, it is going to then react to rather than respond to nerve stimulus or movement. So you want to keep on making sure that there is releasing to lengthen in whatever position you end up being. Yeah. Okay, and then flicker that leg back to meet the other leg. And just have a moment to feel how both sides feel. And now this for me is the fun part. This this is so confusing for me. But here it might not be confusing for you, but you're going to come up into in a couple of seconds. You're going to come up into all fours crawling position. So you're going to bring your whole fish body up as you come into crawling position. And what I invite you to do is to imagine that as you come up, the weight of your pelvis is inviting the connection that you found with your femur. So the weight of your pelvis is reminding your femur that it is connected to the socket. If at any moment you feel like you're pulling away from your femur, pause and just feel that connection. Yes, yes, exactly. And then you're going to begin to crawl forward to the chair. But as you move forward to the chair, at any point where you feel like your pelvis is pulling away from your femur, just pause and allow that connection, that integration to be remembered. So as you crawl, one of the ways in which you can imagine this is if there is a ball underneath you. There's a ball in the pelvis that's rounding into there. And the ball is supported by the connection with Mother Earth. We always have the security of Mother Earth. Wow. That's amazing what you're exploring there, Abby. That's so cool. Frog legs. Yeah. Are you still finding this? Yeah, great. And then when you come to the chair and you bring that foot down, let's see if, or the end of the flipper, there, that is the crucial moment. That is the critical moment where you're going to find the strength. Yes. Yes, that grounded moment. Yep. Yes. Yeah. And bring the back of your hands down. This is right for you. Yeah. You can keep this maintain this. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you remember how you're rotating on the. Yes, you're going to find that same rotation. Yes. There you go. And then you can come up to tippy toes of your fingers. Mm-hmm. And if the chair will tilt back to help you go up into tippy toes of your fins, come up to tippy toes of your fins. And as you come up to tippy toes, see if you can still find the rotation of the pelvis. Let the connection with the ground give this freedom. And then bring the heels down. And then take your newly discovered legs for a little walk. Invite the rotation that your legs would like to feel. Yes. Then pop your head on top of that. Yeah, beautiful. Whee. Also, you can take a little step backwards if you like.